I'm here with 24 hours after I was live with Carrie. Here I am with Adam.
That's awesome.
That was so cool the way that worked out, Adam.
I'm doing great. How are you, Christy? Good to see you.
Yeah, really good to see you. I'm doing great. And I see Jay is popping in to say hello, and Less Junk, More Health are right in here. So hi, Jay. Nice to see you.
Awesome. Hey Jay, how you doing?
Welcome in. So yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to chat with me live like this. I do appreciate you coming on. And, you know, what I want to talk to you about, if it's okay with you, is I know your story like in bits and pieces. Like, I don't think I've ever heard the complete like rundown of where you were. I know there was a brain injury involved. I know you're a carnivore, but I don't know like the whole story. So would you mind kind of laying that out for us?
For sure. So I started carnivore exactly a year ago today. So today's my carniversary.
And he's celebrating it with me.
Right.
Yay.
Exactly.
Happy carniversary, Adam. That's
For
awesome.
sure. Thank you. So yeah, I came to carnivore because of a autoimmune condition called vitiligo, which is essentially your skin doesn't have the ability to produce melanin in certain spots. So I'm sure you've seen people with this condition where it looks like white patches on your skin. And I'm pretty tan, so it's fairly noticeable. It's around my waist mainly, and it's been there for roughly 6 years or so. And so it started to show up on my arm. And at that point, I was like, I need to figure this out because there might be an issue with this. If it shows up on my face or something like that, it doesn't hurt, but it's just a vanity thing. If I've got if it looks like the map of the earth or something on my face, people are going to look at that and go, what the heck is wrong with him? Right. So I just didn't want to have that added distraction in my life. So I went to YouTube University to see if I could find a solution to my problem, because the doctors essentially say that, there's some treatments that you can do, but they're very, very rarely effective. So I stumbled across a video from Joe Rogan, and he has the same condition. And he said that a carnivore diet started to reverse his vitiligo within 30 days.
Okay.
So yeah, at that point I was like, what the heck is this? I'm a crazy person anyway. So, then I started researching the carnivore diet and went down the rabbit hole, and here I am.
Wow. So, okay. So I don't know much about, I don't know that I've ever known anyone with vitiligo, but I mean, I've seen people, like I've known what it is. I've seen it, but so the doctors don't really have much hope for a treatment or anything like that other than cross your fingers and I mean,
basically,
yeah, okay.
It's like with a lot of autoimmune conditions. There's no real, pill that you can take or anything like that.
Okay.
So there is some amino acid treatments and things like that I've recently found that proved to be effective in some people. I never tried that myself. So apparently I'm getting enough amino acids with meat because it's actually starting to reverse. It's taken a long time to show much progress, but it took a long time to get there, I'm sure. So
yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like this is your carniversary for those of you that may have come in right after he said that, but so you've been out doing this a year. So how much reversal then have you seen? That's exciting that you're starting to notice changes.
For sure. It's been about 10% reversal. So it's not a lot, but I have a list like probably this long of everything else that's been fixed.
Got you.
Yeah. So I started for that, which essentially is just a vanity thing. And I had literally dozens of other issues that solved for me almost immediately. So the reason why I feel like the vitiligo got worse is because 2 years prior to going carnivore, I went vegan. So, and I didn't do that because, I felt bad for animals or anything like that. I always liked meat, but a friend of mine got prostate cancer, and he went on a vegan protocol to cure his cancer because a friend of his 17 years prior had gone on this protocol and killed the cancer, and it's gone, and he's still alive today. So he went on this vegan diet, and as a show of solidarity with him,
Okay.
I started the vegan diet, but that's kind of where it started going south for me. So, and I hate vegetables. I literally hate them. I have to put butter on them. I have to put like, beef soup base or, something in them that's animal based to even eat them. Yeah. So for 2 years, I ate essentially a raw vegan diet, and it wasn't good for me. So the vitiligo started showing up on my arms, and it started progressing rapidly at that point. So.
Wow. That's interesting. So when you researched the carnivore diet, who did you look into? Are we talking Dr. Berry kind of research? Who did you find first when you started looking into that?
So after the Rogan video, I'm like, what is this crazy carnivore diet thing? I've never heard of this, because it sounds like something that they're feeding lions, in the zoo or something. So I did a search, and the first video I came across was Dante Ferrigno. And the first video that I watched of his that showed up for me, it was somewhat old, I think a year or two old. And he looked like death warmed over in that first video. And he was talking about this carnivore diet. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize that was an old video, and he had new ones, where he had progressed along. So fast forward a little bit, I watched his transformation, and it was incredible to me. And you could just tell that the way that he presented the information about what he was doing was legitimate. It was authentic. So at that point, some Dr. Berry videos popped up, and that was all she wrote for me. Once I seen that a medical doctor was essentially, endorsing this way of eating, and it wasn't going to hurt you. That was it. That's all I needed.
Yeah, it's almost like you tried the one extreme and it kind of went south. So maybe try the other end of it. That's cool. So that when you were watching Dante, which I keep hearing that name, and there's so many YouTube channels now that I watch a lot of YouTube, and I just haven't gone there yet.
Right.
Myself. But I think that's super cool that, he posted it one at a time, but you came in late to the game, so to speak. So it was almost like you got to fast forward through his journey quickly, right? And see the transformation, sped up that. And that's pretty cool.
If you look at his old videos, this looks like a guy, he looks like he's in his 60s almost. And he just looks tired and wore out and just ready to give up. And now it's like, holy crap, this he's freaking ripped, and he's feeling amazing. And he's been on the lion diet, I think, for over 1,000 days now. So
Wow. Yeah, I've heard some things about the lion diet. I think that's something you kind of have to be ready for.
Right.
A few of my carnivore buddies, tried it in January for World Carnivore Month, and a lot of them didn't make it through the month just because they missed bacon or whatever. And they're like, why am I doing this to myself? Because I don't have some kind of autoimmune thing, or, you know what I'm saying? Like something that you would really need to go to that extreme for.
Right.
I've never personally tried it. I would say I'm mostly BBBE. That's 98% of the time what I am. And then I'll occasionally throw in some chicken or pork. Cheese, even more rare than that. Like if it's on a charcuterie board somewhere, I might do that. How about you, Adam? What's your day-to-day eating like?
Well, I recently just went to the lion diet, so.
Oh, okay.
Because of the autoimmune condition.
Adam, you're going to have no trouble sticking to that lion diet. That's what I meant to say 5 minutes ago. Can we just erase what I said?
Right.
I'm kidding. So did you do that to try to improve your vitiligo further?
That, and well, not necessarily that. So another problem kind of arose that I didn't really understand that I had in the past. So I always kind of had issues eating red meat, and I always thought it was because of the fat or something like that. And usually the meats that I would eat before I was vegan was, like smoked meats or go to a barbecue or something like that. So the meat was typically aged. And I just felt like my body just wasn't processing it right. It was like sitting in my stomach for a long time and it was slightly nauseous and stuff. And then I stopped eating meat for 2 years. I didn't really have that issue. But since I went carnivore, we bought a smoker like in the last 5 months, and I started smoking meats to try to save money, and you can cook a giant pork butt or a brisket or something to have meat for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever. And it just wasn't agreeing with me. So, and this is after being, feeling amazing on the carnivore diet. All of a sudden, I'm starting to feel nauseous. Well, I didn't really equate to what was going on.
Okay.
So apparently I have a histamine intolerance. So I can't do things like egg whites and bacon and aged meats and smoked meats and cheeses and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
So the way that I understand the histamine intolerance is it's like a bucket, and your body it'll handle a certain amount in that bucket. But like with my body, it's once the bucket starts overflowing, you start having these symptoms of nausea and headache and stuff like that. It's different for different people, but I have to reduce the amount of histamine that I intake in food so that that bucket empties, so that I'm not having those symptoms. So, yeah, I'm down to beef, salt, and water now. So,
Okay. Well, I have like a lot of thoughts. First thought, let me organize my thoughts. First thought, how did you find out that it was histamine? Like, how did you like narrow it down and figure out that's what it was?
mainly the smoked meats. So every time I ate smoked meats, I had issues, digestive issues. And then I experimented with egg whites as well. I started removing the egg whites and similar results. I didn't have the upset stomach and the nausea and stuff like that after removing the egg whites. So, and those are high in histamine.
Okay.
And I had gradually kind of navigated away from bacon for some reason. One, because it's a pain in the butt to cook. It's messy. It gets everywhere. It tastes good.
Not if you do it in the oven, but you're not eating it. So I don't need to
Right.
share my recipe.
But you still got all that cleanup. So to me, it's a pain. But so yeah, I kind of navigated away from that naturally, and I'm wondering now if I did that just because it made me not feel good, and subconsciously I just stopped eating it. But it's high in histamine too. So
Yeah, that could very well be. Okay. And then so it's my understanding that like the more beef ages or anything ages, but I'm just going to say beef because that's what you're eating. The histamine will like increase. So where do you buy your meat then to make sure that it's like lower in histamine? Do you have to go to like a special place to get the non-aged stuff?
I don't. So I just recently, as of yesterday, because I started the lion diet recently, I started with grass-fed, grass-finished from a local rancher here to see if that would make a difference, because they say that it is slightly less in histamine. But to be honest with you, I didn't really notice much of a difference between that and store-bought. But I'm not so sensitive that I have to have like flash frozen right after it's slaughtered.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I interviewed one other person. It was kind of like that. They had to like make sure that it was, they had to talk to their rancher, and it was like it needed to be frozen right away, and it couldn't hang for a long time. Okay, well, that's good to know. So you got some grass-fed, grass-finished beef. I'm gonna ask this question for selfish reasons. What can you compare that? Like in your estimation, grass-fed, grass-finished, how do you think the taste is compared to what you just buy in the grocery store?
The grain finished to me has a better taste, and it may be because I'm more used to it. I'm not sure. It seems to have more fat, obviously, because they're not fattened up like the grain fed. So the grass fed is just, I don't know. It has a different flavor to it. It's not a bad flavor, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So I may need to get used to it. I'm going to interview my local rancher. So I've already got a half beef. I'm not taking the whole half beef myself, but I've got it on order. It won't be ready. It depends on the rain. Like, who knew? But April or May, depending on the rain. I don't know if that means more rain equals sooner because there's more ground. I don't know, but that's what they told me. So in the meantime, I'm going to go interview them on the 10th. So like in 10 days from now. And I did order, they call it like a steak lovers box. It's kind of like a surprise because I'm like, I want to taste this and see. But the cool thing about this rancher is they're not 100%. It's all like ethically raised beef, right? They're all just out in the field eating grass. And that's one of my questions because they do have grass-fed, grass-finished, but they also have grass-fed, grain-finished that you can purchase through them. So the steak lovers box that I ordered is grass-fed, grass-finished, just because I wanted to see what that was like. And the half beef that I'm sharing with my brother and mom is also grass-finished because my brother was adamant about it. Like I was fine either way. And he was like, I really want the grass, finished. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I don't have a lot of experience. And I keep hearing this. Hi, Kip. I keep hearing this. So you said it, Adam. Kip is saying it, where the grain finished has a better taste.
Yeah.
So we're going to see. We're going to see what I think. But yeah, I think I'm going to agree. I have a feeling I'm going to agree, but hopefully I'll either get used to it or like it maybe in a different way. I don't know. Yeah. So, but that's one of the questions I want to ask is like, how is that different? At the ranch where I'm going to be purchasing from. So how long have you been doing Lion Diet now? Like how long has that been? And have you noticed any improvements?
It's literally just been like 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But prior to that, I was only eating beef, salt, water, and egg yolks.
Okay.
So
is there a reason why you got rid of the egg yolks? Because I know you said the egg whites bothered you. Is there a reason why you got rid of those yolks?
Just in case I was missing some of the egg yolk, or the egg white, I'm sorry. But really just kind of to eliminate things because I was still having issues with nausea. So I'm just trying to eliminate everything I can to, start at ground zero, steak, salt, water, and see where I go from there.
Okay, so is it ribeyes every day or what? Because if I was going Lion, it would be if I'm giving up everything, it's gonna be ribeyes on repeat.
Absolutely. So it's not ribeyes every day. I can't afford that, but so ground beef.
Okay.
Chuck roast sliced into steaks and then sous-vide cooked for 24 hours. I'm told that it doesn't necessarily raise the histamine content cooking it that long because you're cooking it in a silicone bag.
Okay.
And it doesn't have access to air, so the bacteria don't operate in the same way that it does in the air, and then it creates histamine that way. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main part of what I eat. But yeah, I mix some ribeyes in there for sure.
Yeah, Sous-Vide is on my carnivore to-do list. Maybe this summer. I'm a teacher, so when we're off in the summer, we have all kind of time to do stuff like cook something for 24 hours, and but it's on my to-do list of things I do want to try because it just like seems delicious, but it's not something I feel like I can tackle like as I'm teaching and then coming home and jumping on a live and trying to get my kid. So my 15-year-old son, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know if Adam's heard me talk about this yet, he's on day 5 of, I'll call it ketovore. He might do a little like the marinara sauce from now. Like I made the carnivore pizza pockets, but I do put a little scoop of the marinara sauce. And that's probably the only thing he does that isn't totally carnivore. Yeah, he agreed to try it for 30 days to see if it would help his ADHD. And he's currently standing over here looking at me, wanting my attention. 1 second. He did this to me last night too during my live. 1 second, everyone. Okay, I made him a dessert. He has these new foods that he's not used to. So he's like, well, how do I do? What is this? I made him like a little carnivore cheesecake in a cup with some cream cheese and some heavy cream and stuff like that in there, and some sour cream, and kind of mix it up for his dessert. Because he did say, like when I asked him, he said, ice cream is going to be the hardest thing to give up. And I'm like, you are not lying, kid. And so we got an ice cream machine and we've done some things with that. And I thought, well, let's try this. And I'm perfectly fine with those swaps like that, as long as there's no sugar in there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like he's going from standard American to all the way to this. And I'm really, really hoping that it's going to help his ADHD symptoms. So he seems to be enjoying the food. That's the good part.
I feel like it will. I've talked to quite a few people that have children that have, different challenges, autism and Down syndrome, ADHD, and all of them seem to have improved to some level for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. He's doesn't have anything on the autism spectrum, but he also has sensory integration processing, which a lot of autistic people also do have. You know, so he has some similarities. Like he would have when he was in elementary school, he wore the headphones that you'll see autistic children often wearing because too much sound going in would like overwhelm him and stuff like that. So he's much better now with the sensory things that he's gotten older. And I don't know if he's outgrowing it or if it's just he's coping better because he's older. But the ADHD makes it really hard to be successful at school. So even though he's had testing out the wazoo, his IQ is above normal, but like the daily grind of just like, do this assignment, do this assignment, do this assignment. And by the way, they all have to be on time. And now you have 7 teachers. And he struggles to, be consistent and stay on top of that stuff and keep his grades up. So,
I don't blame him. School is rough for everybody.
Right.
Especially in this day and age when you can be a TikToker and make millions of dollars at 8 years old.
Yeah. That's funny. I wish he was okay being on camera to some extent. It'd be nice if he could tell the story. I'm telling the story because, like you said, to your point about Dante and how he had documented it all, and then here you come however long later and you can just go through and kind of see the end, like the beginning to the end. We're at the beginning right now, but I'm documenting it. I'm showing every meal, just a quick, this is what he ate and explaining what it is. And if he tells me, so far he hasn't really told me this is getting better or anything like that, but he's eating everything and liking it and stuff. And so I'm just kind of documenting it because you just never know where it goes, right? If it's successful, then maybe that's going to help somebody
that's awesome.
in the long run. So, yeah. So anyways, I didn't mean to make this about me. Sorry, Adam. I'm just very excited. I'm very, very excited because I worked really hard. It's not like he's a little kid in a high chair where you can be like, here's your food. And, he has access to all kind of food if he, that I'm not offering him, should he choose to
that's
do
awesome.
that.
I mean, it's important for us to pass this along to the next generation for sure. I mean, that's the only way that we're going to heal humanity.
I know. I love that you have that there. And I do want to talk to you about that because I talked to Carrie about it last night too. But before we do that, I just want to. So Karen says, hello, Christy and Adam. Adam, your hair is still getting darker.
Hi, Karen. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
It's getting darker. She's not, because I don't see you all the time. Like I see you sporadically and I'm like, yeah, I didn't notice it. And then she said that and I'm like looking at her hair going, yeah, she's not wrong.
Yeah, it seems like the gray is reversing even more now. It's strange.
I don't know if that's going to happen for me. We'll see, but it hasn't yet. We'll see. I mean, I'm only, what am I? So since June, so 7 months in.
Right.
Susan E says that one of her friends has vitiligo. Yeah. So BK, who is a new member to my channel. So shout out to BK. Thank you for becoming a member. I suffered with skin rash almost since a teenager. All my rash is almost vanished now by taking extra zinc.
Wow.
Don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Arlene says, hi, Christy and Adam and everyone. Hi, Arlene. And yep, Lady Fritzader. Hello there, Adam and Christy.
Hi, lady.
And Carrie at My Metamorphosis. Hi, Christy and Adam. Carnivore Keith, nice to see you. Yes, great to see you too.
How you doing, Carnivore Keith?
And so glad I found Dr. Ken Berry. He convinced me to go BBBE. Yeah, I wouldn't have known what that is if it wasn't for Dr. Berry. I don't know if I would have needed convincing. I think I would normally kind of just gravitate toward that kind of on my own, but it's nice to get that
Right.
confirmation that BBBE is like pretty awesome.
Right.
Because that's all
Mhm.
the stuff I absolutely love.
Yeah, what's great about that, in my opinion, is it eliminates cheese. So,
Yeah. Yes.
cheese
Yes.
is a huge problem for me, so
Yes. It's very bingeable. So I can eat it like, okay, when I was keto, I just would always, I just could, like, if I went after the cheese, I would, I would just immediately want more cheese. It was just way too bingeable. And now that I'm, mostly very, pretty strict carnivore,
mhm.
um, if I have cheese one day, it's fine. But if I have it 2 days in a row, let's say, I'll start to notice like, I could sure go for some cheese. Like, yeah, it's crazy. So I just keep it to like special occasions and things like that. And I don't miss it. And even though my son, like he's incorporating cheese because he doesn't have a weight issue. He doesn't, I'm trying not to be, like I said, he's going standard American to this. So I'm not going to be like, you're going, you're not just going to go like BBBE or Lion or something. Like, cheese is right now fine. I don't want to have it be so restrictive that he's like, what are you doing to me? And, I want him
Right,
to enjoy his experience and all of that. So,
for
um,
sure.
so he does incorporate some cheese. A lot more than I do. Sometimes he'll just have scrambled eggs with sausage, or sometimes a little cheese in there, or like the pizza pockets, for dinner tonight, there's cheese.
Mhm.
Also, packing a lunch for school is not easy because he's a little picky, although he's getting better. So a lot of times that will have like a little bit of cheese, some pepperoni slices, some cheese, or like a hot dog cut up or something like that I can just send to school with him.
That's
That's
cool.
easy. So anyway,
Interesting thing with cheese is, especially cultured cheeses or aged cheeses, is very
mhm.
high in histamine.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
didn't know that, and that's one reason why I was having the cystic acne. I
Oh,
had adult acne for forever. I mean, I've had
yeah,
it since I was a teenager and
yeah.
could never figure out why. And
Huh.
it's usually about a 2 to 3 week delay after I eat cheese before it actually
Mm.
appears.
Okay.
And yeah, and then once it appears, it'll take that much or that long or a little bit longer for it to go away.
Those
So,
take so long to go away because that was one of my symptoms too. And I had it still even through my keto days. And when I went carnivore, it went away, but I would get them like on the sides of my chin here.
mhm,
And if I get one, I mean, it could be 4 to 6 weeks. It's just like this ginormous bump like under the skin.
yeah,
It's terrible. And
for
I
sure.
think I've had one since going carnivore, and I think it was because my my in-laws gave me some skincare for my birthday, and like after using it one time, I'm like, okay, nope, this isn't good for me. And that thing lasted for like 6 weeks. It was terrible. It's right there. But anyway,
Wow.
but I don't know if I've connected it to dairy or not, because when I first went carnivore, I probably had more dairy than I do now. I've pretty much gotten rid of most heavy cream because I still drink coffee, and I used to put heavy cream in coffee, and now I don't. So, I mean, that was my last dairy that I was having like super regularly. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, but before that, it went away. So I don't know. I don't know what it would be connected to. But yes, it's to me, it's just so bingeable and kind of craveable, and yeah, just better for me to keep it out. And once it's out, and it's not a big deal. It's not like I miss it,
Yep,
unless I eat too much, and then it's like I start wanting it.
yep, absolutely.
Nola Carnivore says hello from New Orleans. Hello.
Hola, Nola.
Yep. DC is here. Hey,
Hey,
Christina.
David.
Hey, DC. And Ellie is here.
Ellie.
I gave away, you know what I did yesterday, Adam? I did the first like membership giveaway. Have you done that before? I don't know if you have
I
membership.
did it once. I need to do it again.
Yeah, it was fun. So I did that when I was live with Carrie. And so Ellie won Ellie won one. So she's a member of my channel now. So hooray for Ellie. Being a new member, she's in here. So thank you,
That's
Ellie.
cool.
And Kip is here. Hey, Kip.
Yep. How's it going, Kip? Hope you're doing
And
good.
John is here, Champion Within. John, hello, you guys. He's a push-up machine. I don't know how many he's up to a day now, like a couple hundred a day. Tell us, John. I forget. It's too many. I don't know.
Wow.
More than I remember. A lot of
Wow.
push-ups. Yeah, he's doing awesome. Ellie says she'll take my beef if I don't like it. My grass-fed beef, I'll just ship it to Florida.
There you go. Right.
And then yeah, BK, I think I already said hello to BK. So
Awesome.
now there's 30 more comments, but we were trying to
Right.
get it all up, right? It's like impossible.
Right.
Okay, so you pointed out, let me take that down. You pointed out healing humanity. And so I had spoken to Carrie about that. And I had asked him, so I kind of want to ask you the same questions. So, well, first of all, what is this is different because we all know Carrie, we all kind of know Carrie's role, but like, what is your role? Because I know you're integral, right, to the process, but like, what is your role in terms of making that documentary? Or do you want to give us a synopsis of what the documentary is and then tell us what your role is?
Well, the documentary is there to give hope to the hopeless, those that are suffering from mental illness, from, autoimmune conditions, from any ailment essentially that plagues humanity for sure. So, we're looking to essentially bring documented stories to everyone about the carnivore diet or keto type of lifestyle. Not everybody adheres to exactly a carnivore diet that's going to be in the documentary, but it's going to be, it'll be close. But, we want to bring the message of how much this diet can actually heal, not only your body, but also your mind and give people hope. So that's the main premise of the documentary itself. And my role in that is essentially creative arts, if you will, director of photography. I don't know what else you want to call it, but I'm giving direction in terms of how things look and technical control over lighting and sound and things like that. So, but really mainly is to just try to keep Carrie sane with all the things that we have to do and take the burden off of him as much as possible so that he can do what he does best. Everybody loves Carrie. He's very charismatic. He's a caring guy. He's a loving guy. He has a passion for people and humanity in general. So, whatever I can do to try to relieve the burden from him so that he can do what he needs to do and fill his role. That's what I'm there for.
That's awesome. And I know recently, or I don't know, relatively recently, you went with him on some of the shoots or the films that he did. Like you went to go see Maggie, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about that without giving too much away that you're not allowed to?
Well, we got our butts kicked by Maggie.
Right?
Yeah, that was crazy. You normally, when you envision somebody that's 82 years old, especially a lady, you're thinking this lady's, all bent over, hunched over, can hardly walk, have a walker or a cane and just this frail thing. And she was literally working circles around us. She was carrying, like, I think they were 15-foot sections of cattle fencing. Like the whole section, she was carrying it herself, moving that around. She was running all the farm equipment, large backhoes, large equipment, and hopping over the fences. She's picking up 20-pound buckets, 2 of them in each hand, lifting them up, going, "Look, these are 20 pounds a piece." Like she's doing curls with them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's embarrassing because I just started weightlifting. I don't think I'm up to 20 pounds per hand on anything. Like even my deadlifts yet. I think I'm at 18 and I'm about to go to 21 on those. So that's embarrassing, Adam.
Yeah, it was 40 pounds in each hand, lifting it like it was nothing.
Wow.
I'm like, dang. Earlier we had kind of a video session where she was doing something funny with Dr. Chafee, and we recorded it. And she took her shirt off and she just had her tank top on. And she flexed for us. And man, she is freaking ripped. Like I felt embarrassed.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what eating carnivore diet for 65 years will do for you. She didn't have a single gray hair on her head. Her hair was still blonde.
Wow. And I know based on, because I've watched a few things where she's talked, like interviews and stuff that she's done. And I know for sure the type of person that she is, she doesn't dye it like I do. Doesn't dye her hair, right? Mine is blonde, but that's from a bottle.
No. there's no way she,
Right.
you know,
That's not her. That's
she
not her
even
jam.
joked about that. She's like,
Hmm.
people ask her, you know, like, what kind of makeup do you use, and you know, feminine products and stuff like that. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm a
Yeah.
cowboy.
Exactly. She's been, from what I understand, she kind of lived out in the boonies with like no like modern conveniences for a while, like when she was having her kids and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's not her style to do makeup or hair dye or any of that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
cool. Have you gone on any other of the video shoots for the documentary?
Yeah, so we also filmed Dr. Hampton in Chicago, and that was awesome. You know,
Yeah.
talk about a quality guy. Like, that guy's amazing. Um, I can't say enough good words about Dr. Hampton, and we're looking forward to filming him again. He's going to be one of the doctors that's featured in the torch that we're submitting to Angel Studios along with Dr. Barry. So
Okay.
I've gone and filmed him, and we filmed Jeff DeProsperos together, and then
Okay.
another amazing guy, you know, kicking cancer's butt.
Hmm.
We'll keep it PG,
That guy
but
can't hold still. He cannot hold still. Like,
right,
yeah, I mean, I've watched him. You
absolutely.
know, yeah.
And then we're doing Dr. Barry next week. So
You're good to go to that. So Carrie was telling me you guys are going to go to Tennessee, right? And
mhm.
film Dr. Barry, and you get to go to that? Okay,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
jealous. I'm officially jealous, Adam.
Yeah. So yeah, Carrie gets to do all the questions and things like that, you know, the interaction with the interview,
Yes.
because the documentary essentially is storyline is it's Carrie's story, right? And his
Mhm.
encounter with the carnivore diet and everybody that he's encountered along the way. And
Okay. Well,
so
that's that.
yeah,
I
Dr. Barry's
think
a big part of that.
that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, he is a big part of that. He's a big part of that for a lot of us, I think.
Hmm. For
I think
sure.
everybody, I think, I mean, a lot of us, definitely say that. Okay, so earlier, like 30 minutes ago or something, you said that so you're getting some improvement with your vitiligo. You have the unfortunate or whatever we want to call it histamine reaction, but when you were talking about that stuff, you said you had a list like longer than the screen is tall of other benefits.
Hmm.
Can you like tell us what some of those are?
Actually, let me pull it up.
Oh, you wrote it
I've
down.
had to write it down.
I mean, I should have known you wrote it down, Adam. You're so organized. I need to write mine
I
down.
had to, because the list just kept getting. I'm like, well, this and that and this and that. Like, it just kept
Yeah,
getting longer and longer and longer. So
you can't remember them all.
right.
Like,
So here we
yeah.
go.
Okay, we're ready.
Um, 80 pounds weight loss without exercise. Like, exercise to me is a 4-letter word. So now I have the energy to exercise where I didn't have it before. I didn't want to do it. So I will actually exercise now, which is crazy to me, because my entire life, ever since I started working when I was 18, and I've worked
Mm,
55 hours a week minimum for at least 20 years. And yeah, exercise was not on the table for sure.
right.
So
You're
80 pounds
exhausted.
weight loss. Yep. That's one. And then let's see, brain fog is gone, obviously. You know, that's the number one thing for most people that they first say.
Yeah.
Uh, Osteoarthritis. I did have a diagnosis of osteoarthritis, and the pain from that is 100% gone. That was
Wow.
gone within 2 weeks of going carnivore.
And where was that? Was that in your hands? Like, where was that in your body?
Mainly in my back and my feet or ankles, and but it was essentially, it was all over the place, but mainly in my back. So the pain from that is 100% gone, which is insane.
Yeah. Wow.
So obviously inflammation is gone at this point. I did have gout, and the pain from that is completely gone. So that's another bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, while I was vegan, and this may be the reason for this, I had plantar fasciitis for 2 years. It progressively got worse and worse and worse, and I had to buy shoes that were like 200 and some dollars a piece to try to relieve the pain from that tendon on the bottom of my foot. And
Mm-hmm.
it helped a little bit, but I mean, I literally couldn't stand for more than 30 minutes straight. If I
Wow.
did, I would have to sit down for probably 2 hours to rest it. And in the morning, just getting up and getting out of bed and walking, I would have to do it slowly, over like 5 minutes. If I didn't, it was pain immediately. So within 5 days of eating B&E, I was still transitioning, like
Mhm.
I wasn't fat adapted or anything like that. But after 5 days, that pain went completely away and has never returned.
Wow,
So,
that's amazing. I mean, I couldn't do my job if I had that. Like, 'cause I'm a teacher, I'm on my feet like most of the day.
right. I'm
Yeah.
lucky that I have my own business. I'm a photographer and I'm able to, kind of manage that. So I can be up and walking around for 10 minutes, then sit down, or, I can manage it to where I'm not standing that long.
Mhm.
So that helps.
Yeah, yeah.
Headaches. So headaches, I would, take Tylenol regularly, like M&Ms. So
Mhm.
it was never really too much to the migraine level, but it was just headaches all the time. And every other day I would have a headache and take Tylenol to try to relieve the headaches. Those are 100% gone.
That's awesome.
Yep. Let's see. You want me to keep going?
Sure, give us a couple more. Yes.
Depression and anxiety. That
Okay.
I knew I had anxiety, but I didn't know that the depression was as bad as it was until I didn't have it. And I realized that, man, I feel way better now
Mm.
than I did before. I would have depressed thoughts and things like that over the years, but I didn't really think it was that bad until I went on a carnivore diet and understood,
Mhm.
you know, how bad it really was. So
Yeah.
those two are gone, which is huge. And kind of like Carrie's his anxiety was so bad that he said if he had to meet somebody, he would crash his car to make up an excuse
Right?
to not meet that person because of the anxiety was so bad. So
Yeah.
my anxiety was not quite that bad, but it was pretty
Mhm.
close. Yeah, I would make
Same
excuses.
here.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I would make excuses. I it's exactly the same. So I wouldn't think maybe about crashing my car, but I would think like every excuse in the book, like try to make it not seem like you're a total jerk, but like you've got to get out of this situation so you don't have to go and be with this other person and go do that thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just thought, oh, you're just introverted. Like you're just introvert. Like I
Right.
didn't think I had anxiety until it went away,
Right.
and then it's like in retrospect,
Hmm.
it sure was anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. That it sucks. Anxiety sucks. And now I
Mhm.
don't have it anymore, which is awesome.
Right? I
So
mean, if everybody watching, Adam came in at the 11th hour. I think it was 4:59 and 59 seconds. It was fine. Like I was like, well, I literally said out loud, I guess I'm gonna go live by myself, and I was about to hit the go live button, and then in pops Adam, and I'm like, oh, and it
right.
was fine. Like it was, I wasn't like it was fine. Like it was gonna be fine either way. Either you were gonna come or not gonna come. I was gonna have awesome people watching, and you know what I mean? Like I
Yep.
wasn't, it didn't upset me. I wasn't worried about it. And I've never done a solo live either, but I was like, well, we'll just make this the first one then.
Right. I wouldn't have done that to you.
No, no, no. I wasn't upset. What I'm saying is, yeah, it wasn't upsetting. Like, I mean, I
Right.
sent you a quick email just to make sure you're okay and if you were going to be here, but it was fine. And that would have just sent me right. Like, I just would have quit. I just would have stopped. I just would have like deleted it from my channel and like not done it. You know what I mean? Not that I would
Right.
would have even had a channel, but you
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So,
The one of the biggest things for me that healed on this that most people tend to gravitate to when I tell them my story is when I started the carnivore diet, I had a traumatic brain injury, pretty good concussion 6 years ago or 6 years prior to going carnivore. And the doctors told me that essentially I lost 10% of my brain function. So that resulted in things like balance issues and I couldn't close my eyes in the dark. I couldn't stand up and close my eyes or I would fall over. I
wow.
would have motor tics where my head would just jerk, sort of like a person that has Tourette syndrome. Just whenever my brain would get overloaded, I would have these motor tics. Um, there for a while, I couldn't I couldn't work for more than an hour or two without my brain being so overloaded that I just had to sleep. I had a massive headache and had to go to sleep. So over time, over that 6 years, I feel like I kind of regained. I thought that I was almost 100%, but I think it was maybe 3 or 4% better after years and years of physical therapy, speech therapy, just doing all these things to try to, fix those symptoms. And I still had the tics, and I still had some balance issues when I started carnivore, but it was mostly gone at that point. But it was still, I still noticed it. So after going carnivore 5 months in, literally, I feel like my brain function went to over 100%. It was absolutely incredible. I haven't had any motor tics. I haven't had any balance issues. My balance now feels better than I used to do martial arts. I was a black sash in Kung Fu, black belt in Taekwondo. I taught in tournaments for the younger kids and stuff. So my balance was very good. And my balance now, I feel like, is the same as it was when I was 18 doing that stuff. So that's crazy considering right after that accident. I mean, I literally couldn't close my eyes standing up. I would fall over.
Wow. That is super amazing. So now that that is kind of healed and you have all this carnivore energy, do you think you'll get back into the martial arts?
No, maybe not.
maybe not something you're interested in anymore.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, I have appreciation for the art, but I'm more of a pacifist now, I guess you could say. So that's you kind of have to be somewhat aggressive to do martial arts. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I was in sparring competitions and shows and all that stuff, and it's just, I don't think I'd want to get back into that.
This is funny because Ellie asked this question, but I already took care of it. Hi, Adam. Long time no talk. I know you help with filming and photography with the documentary and a ton of other stuff. What are your roles? So you're welcome, Ellie.
Rewind.
Ellie and I don't think alike at all, do we? We're not friends.
Right.
It's funny. So Paw Eater says, my hair has started thinning, how it started to grow back in a few months. So my hair, at first my hair kind of thinned but now it's growing back. So I have all these annoying wispy hairs that I'm always trying to, because they're growing in, around the front and even like in my part. So I kind of have the same thing too.
Along those lines, my hair has always been thin, like forever. It's always been thin. And eating the carnivore diet, it really didn't have any change. And I wouldn't eat liver. But I watched a video from a doctor, and he said that his hair started to grow back. And then at the end of the video, he tells you what he did. He was eating liver. And like literally, he said, I've only been eating it a week. And he had pictures that showed like his hair's growing back. He was, he had balding like way back on top. So it was starting to fill in, on the sides, on the top. And I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. So I'm like, well, I don't want to eat liver because it doesn't taste that good to me. So I bought some of the ancestral supplements, liver, grass-fed liver pills.
Okay.
And I started taking those.
But I'm not very, so here's what I want to ask you, because now I have questions. I have those too. I haven't been super consistent about taking them. And I know what it says in the bottle, but I'm like, how many of these do I really need to be taking? So how many are we talking? Like how many each day of those are you taking?
Well, the instructions, I think, or the recommendation is 6 pills a day.
Yes. And I think that's supposed to be like 2 ounces or something. Is it 2 ounces of liver, I think, equivalent?
Probably. Yeah.
Because like that.
With all the moisture removed, it's freeze dried and then you powder it. But yeah, so I was having an issue with those. When I would take those, I would get an upset stomach. Okay. So I'm like, man, is this like a histamine thing? Because gelatin caplets will have histamine in them.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure. So I emailed Ancestral Supplements, and one of their help desk crew responded back, and they effectively said, they sent me this long email, like it was super long. right? And it was so detailed.
Wow.
I'm like, man, I got to get this person on for an interview because
Yeah, that's
I mean,
fantastic.
this just goes way above and beyond what anybody would normally do to help somebody. So effectively what they said is some people that are severely nutrient deficient will have an issue when they start eating nutrient dense foods like liver.
Okay.
And it will cause their body to almost reject those nutrients at that point. So they suggested that I did do titration. So it's, you just take one pill a day, and then over time you just start to ramp it up, 2 pills a day, 3 pills
Okay.
a day, and that sort of thing. So, and I've done that and it actually worked. So, but taking these liver pills, my hair has always been thin, super thin and straight my entire life. And it's starting to grow in thicker and it's getting curly. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, it's like wavy in the back, like
Yeah.
like black guys that'll have like these waves that look super cool, like my hair's starting to do that in the back.
You're like, I'm cool now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So, okay. So how many are they suggesting when you titrate up that you titrate up to I think you said, I think it is 6 a day. So you're going to go up to that, but not to exceed 6 a day. Because I've never taken the 6. I think I've taken 2 or 3 because I'm like, how much is too much? And I've never had a problem. But I took them more when I first got them, and then I got like not very consistent, with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't really give it a limit. I mean, the 6 is just a recommendation.
Yeah, right.
But
Okay.
I'm just playing it safe.
Yeah.
Because I do feel, I mean, with the changes that I've seen in my hair, it does seem like my entire life I've been nutrient deficient, before I went vegan, I tried every diet known to man to try to lose weight, and none of it really worked. And it was just standard American diet. It's just garbage, since I was very young. My mom would always bring us out to McDonald's, like we were at fast food literally 3-4 days a week for sure, and always eating the nutty bars and the the ho-hos and all that stuff. So
yeah, well, that makes sense. I think maybe I need to keep going with those and maybe up it a little more. Also, when I get my grass-fed cow or half cow, I'm going to have them grind up some of the liver into some of the ground beef. Just because, that way it doesn't go to waste, right? And I for sure don't want to just eat a hunk of liver. Like, I am not all you Wells, let's be real. You're so awesome with her, all the stuff she'll do and try. And it's not going to happen. I think and my mom didn't do it a lot, but like she was that mom that like made us eat liver sometimes. And I hated it so much. And I was also compliant, you know what I mean? So I was like, I did it. I didn't just like sneak it, and throw it away, or like I ate it, but it was like, it was bad. And so I just don't want to do that anymore. But yeah, I think maybe if it's mixed with the ground beef, I'll be okay. And I did buy some of those liver capsules, and maybe I need to like I said, I think I did like 2 or 3. So maybe try 4. And not just jump to 6 because I don't want to have your experience.
Right, for sure.
And then see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm an affiliate for Nose to Tail Provisions, and
okay.
So the Bison Liver Crisps, it was one of their first products. Well, they have a new product now. It's called Vril Dust, VRIL Dust.
Okay.
And essentially, it's just grass-fed beef liver that's powdered, and you sprinkle it on whatever food you're eating, or you can mix it in or whatever. And it doesn't really change the flavor that much. So
okay. So that's good to know. I've seen people open up those ancestral, and not even do the gelatin, just open them up and sprinkle them on stuff and just get rid of the capsule part too.
Right.
But do they have Nose to Tail? Did they have other type of, because I wanted to get my son, like I wouldn't buy like meat chips for me just because of the expense. Like they tend to be expensive, but I'm also trying to find things that he will like. Like to me, for that, it's worth it. Like for myself, I could do other stuff. For him, I want something I can put in his lunch, something, you know what I mean? Do they have something like that not liver, but just like, like a meat chip kind of a thing? I haven't looked at I haven't
looked at their site lately.
Okay.
But yeah, they send the products to me to try,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay. Okay.
that's how I get them. But yeah, the Carnivore Crisps, I think, is one that
Yes.
has like the different
Yes,
dried
they
meat.
do. I was just wondering if because you said you're an affiliate for them, if you knew if they had them too. Yeah, I do. I want to. It's kind of expensive, but if it's something we can do from time to time that makes, gives him a little variety, in his lunch, so he's not getting too bored, and maybe he would like them, and then he
Hmm.
wouldn't, maybe miss his chips. Like, he hasn't said that he's missed chips, but he's, I think, still of the mindset, oh, it's just for 30 days. You know what I mean? And like, my goal is
Right.
to, like, hopefully get him to go beyond that.
Right.
So I'm trying to find things like that where he can do.
I think mainly their products are more like organ meats,
Okay.
with nose to tail. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nose to tail. With that name, that does make sense.
Hmm.
Um, BK, you should definitely try those. The bacon beef. Yeah, those are delicious. Give those a shot. So Amanda's Violin and Adventures is saying, what about butter? I eat butter all the time. If you become a member on my channel, Ellie was making a joke. I forget, it's like down here somewhere. They don't, here it is, but they don't translate. It's funny because they don't translate onto StreamYard. So, but one of my custom emojis is a bite butter emoji because if I feel like I need some fat, I'll just go take a bite of butter.
There you go.
So I'm big on the butter for sure. And I also, if I feel my body, I don't know if you've noticed this, Adam. I've heard a lot of carnivores say it, like, you really feel like your body starts to tell you what it needs.
Oh yeah.
And if I need more fat, I start craving butter. So it just depends. Like today, the ribeye that I had for dinner, I
Hmm.
didn't have any butter. But like other days, I'm like, yeah, this ribeye needs some butter. And I think that's my body telling me, like, you need more fat today, or you don't.
Hmm.
So I know
Yeah.
you've given up butter because you're lying
Yep.
now.
Yep.
But yeah. When we were talking about cheese, John said I get a runny nose as soon as I eat cheese. Not too bad, but it does it every time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Every time for me too, for sure.
Oh, here's our push-up answer. Look, Adam, 250 to 400 push-ups a day. A day.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Serious.
I'm doing 100 squats a day, so that's I need to up that apparently.
Yeah, I did 100. When did I do that? October, I did 100 squats a day. And at the beginning of the month, I had to break them up. Like, I had to do 10 here, 20 there. Like, I would do them throughout the day. But man, by the end of October, I could do 100 squats like at once. Body
Nice.
weight squats. Now I'm doing them with weights, so I don't do 100.
Nice.
I've got weights in my hands and they're heavy. I do 3 sets of 10, and then well, it just depends. I mean, the number of reps goes up and down depending. Like, every time I add more weight, then the number of reps I can do goes down, and then I, bump it back up.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm doing now. But yeah, squats are not my favorite. Like, I do those because I have to. I
Hmm.
also do deadlifts and lunges, and I like those a lot better. And then when it's time for the squats, I'm like, all right.
Right. For sure.
But Kelly Hogan just did a video. It's a part of your brain that I don't remember, with a fancy sciencey name that I really don't remember, but talking about the part of your brain that you'll find it if you search her channel, My Zero Carb Life, because it's a very recent video that she did.
Hmm.
And talking about how the way to, like, get more, like, resilience and, like, stick-to-itiveness and all that is to just do things you don't want to do. And the more you do things you don't want to do, the better at doing that you will be. And it literally, there's a part of your brain that will literally get bigger, like, or shrink if you do that or don't do that, right?
Right.
That's pretty much what she said. I just don't remember the part of the brain. It's called one of those science names.
Hmm.
But that actually helped me. I'm like, okay, so when I'm doing my squats and I'm hating every minute of it, my brain is growing and I'm getting better at doing hard things.
Absolutely.
So there's that. Ellie says, my grandma is 82 and she can't do anything like Maggie, but she's healthy. Thank God. I love my grandma. You're
That's
lucky to
awesome.
still have your grandma. I don't have any more grandmas left. So
Yep.
enjoy having your grandma Ellie while you have her. I'm very glad she's healthy.
Yep. That's awesome.
Carnivore Keith says, wow, Maggie would have kicked my butt too. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
sure. So Susan is asking, Adam, I don't know if you know, but the Cincinnati Dayton group from Dr. Barry's group is meeting at Company 7 on February 24th. I know they'd love you to come.
I did hit maybe on joining that, so it
Okay.
really just depends on work. So right now we're in the throes of wrestling leagues, basketball leagues, volleyball leagues, baseball starting up too. So sports leagues are notorious for, 3 days before the weekend. Oh yeah, we need you to come out and photograph 800 people. Yeah, and it's like,
Wow.
well, am I going to turn down the money? I'm in business for myself, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good chunk of business. I wouldn't think that you would
right.
want to turn that down. Yeah, for sure.
So right now that weekend is open, but it may not be. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully that would be fun. One of my I don't know if they're a subscriber, but on a comment to my video, they're like, "Oh, I would I'm in Southern California too. I feel like there's so few of us here." And I'm like, "You are totally right. Like there needs to be us Californians, that eat this way really need to get together." The only person I've met is Nicole, former fat girl, and she's not from here. She came on vacation out here and she was like, "Where
okay.
are you?" And I was like, "You're staying like just not that like 40 miles from where I live." So I will be there. So I drove out there and we met,
Oh, that's cool.
but yeah, it was really cool. It was fun. It was, it gave me the taste for it to where, are you going to KetoCon with Carrie to do some filming?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm going to get to meet you too, Adam, cause I'm going to go to KetoCon. I'm going to make sure, I don't think I'm going to have time to see any of the speakers because I want to meet all my friends in real life. I think
For
that's going to
sure.
be taking up a lot of my time, but anyways, I'm excited for that. Yeah, a lot of cool people are going that I'm excited to meet. So yeah, that little just meeting Nicole gave me the little bug of like, okay, now I really want to meet, some of these other people. Because the carnivore community has just been so, supportive and awesome. And I've just enjoyed it's been because I don't know any other carnivores in real life, right? But like we get together online and then you don't feel like the odd one out,
Yeah, for sure. Carrie and I met about 50 of them at a meetup in Chicago prior to
Yes.
filming Dr. Hampton, and man, that was awesome. Like everybody was so awesome and so nice and so helpful, and just people were having issues with trying to find directions to the restaurant and stuff, and everybody was just jumping in and helping, and yeah, everybody was incredible up there. So we're looking forward to doing more of that. We didn't think that it would be as popular as it was. We thought, maybe 10 people might show up or something, but yeah, it got to capacity like very quick. So
Yeah,
we're going to try to do that more everywhere we go film. And
yeah, people really wanted to go. Like that was a big deal. I know I was sad that I don't live anywhere near there. But I saw like some people that were there did like videos and posted on their channel, like Robin, Carnivore's grandma. I mean, yeah, she filmed Dr. Hampton. You're not wrong. Like I couldn't believe he got up there and just off the cuff did a whole like it was like lecture worthy, but he was just like spitballing.
oh yeah,
It was great. But
yeah, we
anyway,
didn't have anything planned. We didn't have anything
right.
ain't planned at all, and he just came in and was like, it was almost like he knew, like I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do this thing, and he took over and literally he walked around to every single person in that room, like 50, all people, everybody,
Yeah,
all 50,
that's great.
and asked them, what their story was, and he wanted to know everything about them, and it was incredible. Like, I've
Yeah.
never seen anybody do anything like that before.
That was that. Yeah, just seeing the footage of it, I'm like, man, I wish I could have been there. Um, BK says, from sugar and carbs to carnivore, I took that transition step by step with up and down and struggling. That's normal, I guess. I think that's totally normal. Not
Yep.
everybody has, the same pathway or whatever to get here. It's not always a straight line to like health either. Like I'm recently having some weight struggles and things like that. I mean, I'm very open about it on my channel. I want to be transparent. And you know what? When I came out and said that, Adam, that lately I've been putting on weight and it's frustrating. I've tried some things and I've tried fasting and I just keep putting on more weight. And when I fast, I'm so hungry, I'm miserable, I'm starving, my energy wanes and it's not good. And anyway, other people come out of the woodwork. I'm experiencing that too, right? And so we can support each other. Maybe I've got I already mentioned Kelly Hogan once, but you know, she gained weight at the beginning too. Or like my friend, Alicia, that I interviewed, you know, from Australia, she had the same thing. And she was like, just buy some bigger pants. And then pretty soon, like later, your body will shed the weight. It's just when you're in the middle of it, you don't know that. You can't see the future, right? It's like a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And so, but when you open yourself up like that, I'm telling you, I've gotten quite a few people saying you're not the only one. Like, I'm experiencing this too right now. Let's go through it together.
Yeah, absolutely. As
So,
long as you're feeding your body the right fuel, it knows what to do. You don't have to tell it to, you know, you don't have to tell your heart to beat. You don't have to tell your body to breathe. You don't have to tell your blood to pump. You know, your nervous system to communicate with trillions of cells. It just does what it does. As long as you give it the right fuel, I'm sure there's probably a reason that it needs to do what it's doing. So
right. And I still mentioned, like, I wake up, I'm actually feeling better than I even was before, mentally and energy wise. You know, and so it's like, I'm not like quitting. That's not what I'm saying. I'm perfect. I love this way of eating. I feel satiated. I love the food. I don't even want to go back. I don't want to eat anything else. I have energy to burn. The other Wednesday, I like did some exercise at my lunchtime with the kids outside after I had already worked out in the morning. Like, it's great. Like, I never would have done that. So it's just, of course, like, do I enjoy watching the scale go up? No. But I'm saying that to you know, let BK know it's not just a complete, you know, it's not all rainbows and sunshine all the time. Like, things might happen that you might consider bumps in the road. Just reach out and you'll find people that are experiencing it too. Or if there's like a struggle or a rough patch or anything like that. So that's been my experience, at least with this community.
Absolutely. So, same here. Yep.
So Carnivore Key says, wow, congrats, Adam. Mental health was my downfall until I went carnivore. Meds are gone. I love hearing that. Meds are
awesome, Keith. I love it.
Fantastic. And it looks like you gifted some memberships, Adam.
I did.
That is awesome.
You reminded me.
Can you see? I can't see from, well, I'm not in the live anymore. I was like, it was in the start. So let me see. Does it say in StreamYard or does, I think maybe you have to see from your channel because they probably got given out already.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works. I just hit the button.
Oh, so if you got one of Adam's members, so Beth did. What?
Okay, cool.
So what you can do, so I found out, I learned this from experience yesterday doing this. If you open up another tab and go to your channel and go to the live stream that we are streaming right now, in the chat of that live stream, and I don't know because you didn't already have it open, but like yesterday I had mine open, like in a separate tab, and it pops up and it'll say like so-and-so was gifted, so-and-so was gifted, so-and-so was gifted. It'll list them out. Because that's what I did yesterday. And then I was able to say, like, congratulations, Ellie. Like, Ellie got one, Robin got one, Deb got one. So, and I was able to kind of announce that.
Okay.
So if you also got one besides Beth, let us know. And congratulations.
Absolutely.
Paw Beater says, I found a source for Amish butter that is very tasty for snacking. I have heard that Amish butter is delicious. We don't have any Amish around here in Southern California, so I don't know how to get my hands on any. But I have heard it's really good.
I thought about buying some of that myself too when I was eating butter because they say that it is good. And I live in Ohio, so there's literally Amish everywhere.
Yeah, right. I know, and I've heard several people talking about like Amish things lately, and it's like, man, I wish, like, for those kind of reasons, I wish I was a little closer to some of them because they're awesome stuff.
There's cities that have banks that have like horse stalls outside the bank instead of parking spots.
Yeah,
for the Amish to go to the bank and park their horse and buggy. It's like another time and realm almost.
Yeah, a year and a half ago, we went to a family reunion, and I don't even remember the name of the town, but it was in Colorado, like really, really high up, but I don't remember it, like in the mountains, but I don't remember the name of the town, but it's like half Amish, like it's, so you just see it. It was like, whoa, this is cool. Because they're just all interwoven with like the non-Amish, but yeah, you just see them like there they go with their horse and buggy, and Like there was a whole, like a farmer's market, and like it was mixed. It was a mixture. Like there was Amish and like non-Amish, but they had like their wares, you know, for sale. And yeah, like walking through the towns and yeah, just like integrated in with the, it was cool because I just never seen it in real life before. Super interesting. Ellie says, I don't want to edit my videos, so she's going to get better at editing. I don't want to edit my videos either, Ellie. I try to do it. Yeah, it's like not the fun part at all. Arlene is saying, thank you for this great information. My hair has thinned like my grandmother and other women in my family. So Arlene, you and I are going to start on liver or supplements and compare notes. Because I see Arlene a lot in the comments.
Here's another one. Yeah, for sure. Here's another one. So Todd Bachmus, he's doing what's called aminotherapy, and he's taken so many aminos that his hair is actually growing back.
Yeah. Okay. I've
seen like he's bald on top, like completely bald, and it's starting to like dark hair is growing back.
So he needs to take that hat off and show us, because I watch a lot of live streams because I really like Lindy. So he's usually live with Lindy.
Right.
So I've heard them talking about those aminos. I didn't order any at the time that they said it, but it intrigued me. But I saw them, but I wasn't really 100% clear. Oh, look at that optimal amino. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I believe they're on Amazon, right, Adam?
Yep, you can get them on Amazon.
Those are the exact ones I have.
Supplements, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you know anything more about the aminos other than that? Because they were I don't know, I missed it. Like, you know how sometimes you have a live kind of playing in the background of your life, and I was doing some stuff, and I'm like, wait, they're talking about something, and it was like aminos, and I saw the brand, but I didn't hear all the part about what it's supposed to do.
Essentially, amino acids is the building blocks of just about every cell in your body. So the theory is that if you flood your body with aminos, your body will start to replace cells, and with new cells, good cells. And especially in his situation where he's still has some weight to lose and things like that, it helps to kickstart weight loss again and cell regeneration and things like that. So I started taking them also because of my autoimmune condition. So there's also something that's wrong with my cells, and the aminos are probably not going to hurt me. There's no histamine in those either. So and so far I've been taking them without any issue, and it does seem like there has been a little bit of a benefit. So I don't know if I'll continue on. I mean, I'll continue till these 2 bottles are gone, but beyond that, I'm not sure. So, I'll assess at the end and see where we are with that.
Yeah. Let me know. I'm curious. Karen says, I'm so ready for a meetup. They are very refreshing. Karen, it would be so nice to meet you in person. Come to KetoCon if you can. That would be awesome. Yeah. Carnivore Key says, the carnivore community is my new carnivore family. No one else around me is doing it, and that's fine. Yeah, 100%. There's people that I talk to every day, right, Ellie? I talk to Ellie pretty much every day. I talk to Robin a couple times a week. Like occasionally I'll talk to JT. It's just great because you always have somebody that you can, go to and talk to.
Absolutely. You keep doing it long enough, Keith, somebody around you is going to transition. So
yeah, absolutely. Bob Eater says that Carrie did a live stream with BK this afternoon. I'm going to have to watch that. So BK, I don't know if you saw the comment that I left on your video, but email me if you want to come on for an interview like Adam is doing right now. Right. I'd be happy to have you on. BK has a channel. So
cool.
I forget what it is though, BK. So if you want to put it in the chat, you're welcome to do that.
That's awesome.
Ellie's talking about how she's been in the stall for 4 months now. I'm so happy with my weight right now. 240 was my heaviest when I did keto and started carnivore at 200. Now I'm 170. I am enjoying the curves. Way to enjoy where you are, Ellie.
That's awesome.
I love that.
When she said stall, I thought she was talking about a horse stall, like we were talking about earlier.
Just living in the horse stall.
Right.
Poor Ellie.
I've been in the stall for 4 months. Oh no, go get her.
Let's get her out. She needs to be rescued.
Right.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Darth Carnivore, this is awesome. Going to my first meetup this weekend to meet some keto carnivore folks. Okay, Darth Carnivore, I want to hear all about it. I want to hear all about it once you're done. Okay, oh, here we go. I think they're popping up now. Look, here they come. So Chris G was gifted a membership by Carnivore Today.
Awesome.
Deb Olson, who just won one of mine. Oh, maybe he's posting that for you. I think he's posting that.
Oh, maybe he is.
No, it's all coming from Paul Beater here. So thank you for putting that up there for us.
Yeah,
so Deb Olson
thanks,
won one of mine and now won one of yours, Adam. That's cool. Hey, look, I got one. Adam.
There you go.
I'm a channel member. Adam, what do I get when I'm a member of your channel?
Members only lives and posts. So behind the scenes posts for the documentary.
So I'm gonna go look for those. That's exciting. Yep. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for when your next members only live is. Ellie and I, because our channels are still we're about the same size now, but we're small, right? So it's like, let's do a members only live together. So we're going to have like her members and my members, but like do one live for if you're a member of either channel, like you can come on. So we have one planned for, I think, February 16th. It's going to be fun. So join us on February 16th. I think 5 p.m. Pacific is what we said, 8 p.m. Eastern, if you're a member of my channel or Ellie's channel.
Nice.
So anyways, also Susan Hampton.
Oh, cool.
For Susan. So, here we go. So BK is saying I was today on Carrie's live stream where I met yesterday, the lovely Christy yesterday. Yes, Carrie and I were live yesterday. So that's cool. I'm going to have to go watch that.
That was on Carrie's members only live.
I think I won a membership on Carrie's channel too.
There you go. Cool.
I told you I watch a lot of YouTube.
You should play the lottery.
I should play the lottery because that's what it is. It is like a lottery. You give out 5 and YouTube just goes, you get a membership and you get a membership.
Right. One for you, one for you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Karen. Well, I'm not sure what the next one is. I think this KetoCon will be my big one for this year. I wanted to go to Keto Palooza, but I really wanted to meet Limitless Lindy and she was going to KetoCon. So I chose KetoCon. Then it turns out a bunch of other cool people are going to KetoCon. So I think I made a good choice for me. But I don't think I can afford more than one, because that's a big deal to like fly to Texas and all the stuff that's involved with that, Teachers, we're not known for our incomes, you guys. So yeah. Susan is also saying I'm in a stall, so I'm cutting out spices and trying to stick to BE plus fish. I did have bacon wrapped chicken thighs, but I think I need to stop. Yeah, I get that. It's chicken thighs don't make me, but yeah, too much bacon I could see for me would do that for sure.
Yeah, I don't eat any spices whatsoever.
I mostly just eat salt anymore. And it's not because of anything that bothers me. It's just I really like salt.
Pretty much same here.
I want to put some garlic salt. No, just salt. Like my brain tells me,
It's crazy the amount of salt that I eat now. I think back to when my boys were younger and they're like dousing their food with salt.
And you're like,
no, that's too much. It's too much. Slow down. Yes. I'm like, man, I was stupid.
Yes, totally. Thank you, Monica. Monica's reminding everyone to please smash the like. Yes, please smash the like.
Yes. Thanks, Monica.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, Carnivore Key says, meeting wellness, Christy. Thank you for your kind words when I was sharing my photos with Lindy, Todd, and Michael on their live stream. Yeah, that was a great live stream where you were on there, Keith. And I think I really enjoy those photos for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because that's not my story. So a weight loss is not part of my story. Like I've gained some weight back now, but it's like the most I ever lost was 20 pounds. You can't really see that much in a picture. That's one of the reasons I started my channel, because it's like I have to say it. Like my benefits are all things you can't see with your eyes. Right. But I think that I really, really it makes me really appreciate these pictures because it's not just that they're smaller than they are, but you could see the inflammation gone. Like their faces are like, all puffy and then they're not, even if they're not to their goal weight yet. It's like you can literally see the inflammation. in some cases you can see like the body recomposition. You know, it's like, what? Like your body's a totally different shape. So yes, I do appreciate some, you know, some befores and afters like that. What are you bugging me with about now, Ellie? I'm gonna bugging me about what? She's gonna bug me into, oh, I think because we talk every day. I think that's what she's talking about.
I gotcha.
You don't bug me. I love hearing from you. Love hearing from you.
But she said bugging. I thought that was another reference to horse and buggy.
Yeah. Darth Carnivore is glad that Ellie wasn't trapped in a bathroom stall.
Right.
That would be worse, I think, than a horse stall. Although a horse stall could get pretty stinky if you don't scoop it out.
For sure.
Oh my goodness. All right. I think that we are at the end of the comments, except Arlene's going to try those liver supplements and aminos. So that's awesome.
Cool.
And Beth is excited about the cool member stuff. Yeah, that is cool member stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to get started on the lives. You know, I'm at a loss for content. So if anybody has any suggestions for members only lives, let me know. Obviously I'm going to share what I can about the documentary and try to have Carrie on there as well, to share what we can in that regard. But
so
yeah, it's tough right now. We can't really share much. So
of course. Well, you're a pro, like you do lighting and all, you're a pro at what you do, but I'm not and Ellie is not. Like I literally never pushed the record button on a video camera or a phone or anything until I started this channel. So like, I don't know the first thing about anything. So Ellie and I thought, because she said, y'all making fun of me and I love it. We're going to like make fun of ourselves a little bit on our members only live. So I'm going to go to her channel and I'm going to pick 2 videos from her earliest content that she's not going to know what they are. And she's going to go to my channel and pick 2 videos from my earliest content and I'm not going to know what they are. And then we're going to do a reaction.
That's funny.
Because it was so terrible that we were so terrible. And it's not like we're, you know, I mean, we're not pros, but we're getting better just out of sheer repetition, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be fun because yeah, let the cringe begin.
For sure.
So that's
you know what's crazy is that I don't have any experience. I have just as much experience with video as you do. So I'm a stills guy, and I photographed NFL, NHL, NASCAR, IndyCar, MLB, all the college teams, just about, not all of them. There's way too many, but I've done assignments where I photographed the president and just all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's all stills, right?
Right. Yeah. I that's got to be totally different.
In terms of composition and lighting, it's no different. So that's where I'm able to kind of help and level up things for Carrie in that regard. But yeah, I've learned a lot in terms of video. I have a lot of colleagues in that space that I can lean on. And essentially, I mean, it's a real quick learn for me because I've been around it for so long. But well, but in terms of actually like recording videos, I would just do, you know, handy camcorder, you know, when the kids are little, stuff like that. And
my husband did all that or does all that. So I don't have to do it and I just don't do it. So I don't really know how to do it. And I don't think I have that like artist eye or artist ear or anything. Like I have a different microphone and the reason I don't use it, it's a good one and I love it. But like if my kids decide to get loud, it picks up everything. And so I'm not even using it tonight because last night I asked my son to be quiet and he didn't. And I can literally hear him talking through my microphone from his bedroom. Like it's really sensitive. I don't know how to fix that. I'm like, whatever. I'm not even going to try it tonight with Adam. I'm just going to use my old, you know, the one that's just in my webcam or whatever.
There you go.
You know, because whatever, but other people seem to hear a difference is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I can hear a slight difference, but like some people I think can hear it, to them. It seems like a night and day difference. You know, or like the composition of something or the angle of something. Like I don't have that artistic. I'm kind of more of like a left, right. Like I teach math and science. You know what I'm saying? I can't draw a
Right.
stick figure. Like, I don't have that.
Yeah. Right now I'm in the office because, the studio where I was filming everything is kind of like renovating that a little bit and changing
Yeah.
things up. So
Oh, nice.
got to
Yeah,
do it
this was
inside
the
the house.
office I created for distance learning when we had to teach from home. It wasn't an office before that. It just like had some couches and stuff. And we got
Right.
rid of all of that. And I have like, this is like an L-shaped desk. So this is like one. And then, my computer's on the other part of the L. And yeah, all this stuff was new for that. And I thought, well, we can have a second life out of it for my YouTubing stuff. Okay, we got one more question, Adam. So Carnivore
Oh,
Keith, in my experience, I found once I got rid of the sugars and carbs, my mental health healed. What's both your experiences now that you're both carnivore?
yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
I think it was both getting rid of sugar and carbs and adding protein and fat. Lots of fat was the key for me.
Yeah. Okay. So I never would have said that I had mental health issues. If you had asked me in January a year ago, 12 months ago, do you have mental health issues? I would have said no. I for sure had mental issues. That had just become my normal. And it had happened over like a slow slide of like 20, 30 years or something. So
Mhm.
it's like I didn't notice. It's not because other people like I don't think she's in here, but Carrie at My Metamorphosis, I think she was here earlier. Like she had an anxiety attack. Like she knew it when it happened. This is an anxiety attack and this sucks. And she knew what it was because it was an attack. It was acute,
Mhm.
right? And it was obvious. I never had anything like that. It was like I slowly just became like my world just slowly just kind of, and I wanted less and less and less to do with the outside world. To the point of within the last couple of years, I wouldn't want to go for a walk outside because people could see me and what were they going to think? And does my butt look big and whatever? So I just wouldn't, right? I would just stay inside because people might see me and what would they be thinking about how I was walking, what I was wearing? Like they didn't think a second thought about me, but yeah,
Mhm.
I thought they were. I didn't want to go to a party because that was going to be awkward and I would always be like that one person trying to break into a conversation somewhere and yeah, just hated the thought of all of it. Wouldn't want to go to the grocery store. Now I don't just because it's convenient to have them delivered to my porch and I'm a little bit lazy, but it's not because I'm afraid to be seen at the grocery store. A
Right.
whole other reason. Um, so now it's like I've incorporated sprinting and I love it. And like people see me, I'm a middle-aged, 48-year-old lady running down my street in leggings and a tank top. I'm not an athlete. I'm not an Olympian. I probably don't look the most graceful, but I don't care. And like if people see me, if they look at me, I'll say hi and good morning. If they avoid eye contact because she's weird, that's fine too. The other day a cop drove by and I was like, oh no, is he gonna think, because it was dark outside still. And I live on a cul-de-sac, but I was like at the end of it. And I was like standing in the middle of the street, like catching my breath. And then like a cop on patrol like went by and I was like, uh-oh, he's gonna think I'm drunk or like out here, who knows? And so, but he didn't stop and like, or he or she, I don't know, didn't stop and didn't say anything. That was a little nerve-wracking because I thought they were gonna want to talk to me to see if I was cuckoo.
Right.
But I never would have. I didn't want to go for a walk, much less sprint. But there I am, and every day I see, even though it's dark, there's people that'll come out to like warm up their car. So they'll come out, they'll see me. It's fine, And the mental clarity, like my ability to do my job, because I'm a teacher, is like it's like back to what it was when I was in my 20s. It just kind of clicks along like without much effort.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, all that stuff is awesome. Like I wouldn't give that up for anything. So the weight is really secondary to me. I wish my body could tell me in like plain English why it's gaining weight right now. I am currently working on healing fill in the blank.
Right. It's
If I could
hibernation time.
yeah, or if I had a crystal ball and could see a year from now that it's like, okay, that thing is healed and now I'm going back to, the weight that I wish I was or whatever, but I don't. Who knows what's
Mhm.
going to happen? I don't know. But I'm feeling great.
That's
I
the
get
most important part.
absolutely. Yeah. I get comments and I guess compliments all the time. You don't seem like you're 48. in the way you act or in the way you look or any of those things. So I'll take it. I will take it.
Absolutely, any day.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Keith. And I guess we will. I want to thank everyone for coming in. Oh, and look at this. We have a new member.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Susan, that is fantastic.
That's awesome.
I wish it told me which channel, but so I don't know if it's mine or yours, Adam. But Susan, if it's mine, thank you very much. If it's Adam, but also thank you very much. But if it's mine, come to mine and Ellie's live stream, members only live stream. That's going to be a fun one. And if it's Adam's, he has some cool stuff that I'm about to go check out right after this.
Right.
I
got a new interview I posted yesterday with Carnivore Soldier.
Oh,
and the thumbnail I put up there is pretty funny.
Okay.
It was something funny that he said. So it's not clickbait.
It's not clickbait. Okay.
He actually said it
in the interview. Okay. Well, yeah.
Right.
Larry is awesome. I was on his what does he call it? The Hump Day meetup on Wednesday. That was fun. And I've got him scheduled for an interview on my channel. So stay tuned for that one.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. We will see you around. I'm sure I'll be live again soon. In fact, I'll be live on Saturday. You know what I'm going to do on Saturday? I'm going to cook a ribeye with the Carnivorous Grandma. We're each going to cook a ribeye. We're going to cook and eat together on a live and chat with you guys and answer some questions. So it'll be around lunchtime, a little early for me, 10:30 a.m. here, 1:30 for her. So yeah, come check that out.
Very cool. Can't wait.
Then, thank you, Adam, and we will see everybody later.
Thanks, Christy. It's a pleasure being here and spending time with you. And everybody in the chat, I thank you. Appreciate you, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night.